9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome back to FAM to another instant reaction show. Let's talk it out. The 49ers just whooped up on Tampa Bay and Tom Brady, 35-7. How you guys feeling?
I'm feeling glorious because any day where Tom Brady gets his fucking ass kicked is a good day in Denise Granger land. Did you see that one play when Tom Brady got sacked and he was looking up like he had stars in his eyes? That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah,
If I knew how to make a meme, I would absolutely make a meme of that and post it on Twitter every day for the rest of my life. I love that shit. It was great.
Yeah, I cannot stand Tom Brady. I'm glad that the Niners eviscerated his ass today. like everything that could go right for this game for the Niners did, which was like a breath of fresh air. Like I swear, as it was happening, like all these right things going for the Niners, I was like, dude, like what's going on here? Like this is unlike us to get every call. Like this must feel really nice, you know? So it's like, and I think the NFL is sick of Tom's antics, like him pleading all these little calls, like, oh, he grabbed my throat. He grabbed my throat. Yeah. The ref's like, come on, bro. This guy.
Yeah, I'm very excited. And I noticed that too. Every time Tom Brady got hit, he went to the refs. He does that normally in every game, but it was really highlighted in this game. It seemed like every time he got hit, every play, he was going to the refs. It was really good to see this game.
Yeah. Like I told you guys before the show started, you know, like I hate watching even Tom Brady games because for that reason, you know, once he starts crying to the refs, it seems like the refs just like give in because, oh, it's Tom Brady, you know, so they start giving him everything he wants. And so as I'm watching this game, that's what I kept thinking the whole time. Like, it's only a matter of time before the refs start giving in and giving, you know, and he just kept crying and crying and crying. And the refs stayed true, you know, they kept the game, you know. I think that there was some flags thrown that, you know, were in our favor a little bit too much, but they definitely played it fair to Tom Brady and his BS, that's for sure. TL, what's up? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's a great game. Not to get that 6th victory in a row.
Yeah, there's so many good things. Like I mean, outside of, I mean, even I mean, good in the fact that, I mean, we still don't know, just because when we saw Debo's injury, it's like, gosh darn it, why can't we get a win where it doesn't cost us something, where you feel like shit after, just because, yeah, it would cost us the win, but we just lost one of our best players. So there's good news on that front. I mean, so far, it doesn't look like it's an ACL, or it doesn't look like it's a knee, and it looks like it's an ankle. They haven't reported back how bad it is, but it's there. The tone has definitely changed from, like, because when you start seeing a player cry, to me, that lets me know he's done, right? Not because crying for pain, but crying for, you know, that his season is over, right?
Disappointment, basically.
Yeah, exactly. All that hard work just done, and then of course letting down your teammates, and you know, all those things all those emotions that are involved. But like, gosh, can we have a better day as Niner fans? Like, think about it. Look what happened. Brock Purdy, our 3rd string quarterback, kills Tom Brady. Granted, of course, it was a team victory, and the defense and the running game was a huge part. And they did an awesome job today, because that's the one thing that I was concerned about this game. I go, if we could, I said at the beginning of the game, I was like, if we can run against this team, we're gonna kick their ass. If we can't run, then this is gonna be a close game. But you know, they went out and they set the tone, and they were running the ball, and you know, lucky for us that, I don't know, did Vita Vea start that game, or did he didn't play at all?
Started and got hurt on the first drive.
Okay, so that's really helpful. And then, but you know, there's so many good things, right? Like Seattle loses, freaking Minnesota loses. Like, I think the Eagles are pretty much untouchable at this point for the number 1 seed, right? Like, they have a 3-game lead on us with 4 to play, right? So I don't. that would take a miracle for us to get the 1 seed. But getting the 2 seed is definitely right there, right? And then this year, I believe it's back to two buys, right? Like last year was 1 buy, right? Isn't this year 2 buys or no? Am I
I don't
wrong?
think so. I think it's still the 1 buy. I think the only buy is the first seed.
Oh, okay. I hate that.
I think, but I mean,
Yeah, I
I'm
think you're
not sure.
right. I think you're probably
Yeah,
right.
I think because now we have the 17 playoff. You know what I mean, for each
Yeah.
conference. So that's why the only 1 seed gets to buy. But yeah, I'm very excited about this team. Right now we're playing with such energy, and everybody's rallying behind each other. And Brock Purdy. The numbers. You look at the numbers on the stat sheet on paper. No, you don't look at them as like, oh man, they're impressive. But what I'm more impressed about this kid is his poise. He came out and got absolutely hammered. The first play of the game where he got sacked, and it was unfortunate, like you said, Miriah, we got some calls. That was kind of a bang bang play, because Brock Purdy kind of went down a little bit, then he got the helmet to helmet. And I thought it was a clean shot, but it worked in our favor. But for a 7th round pick to come out, especially a quarterback to come out and take a hit like that, so early on and not play scared. I was like, oh, whatever the case may be, he kept his composure. He was throwing some nice throws out there. That throw to Christian McCaffrey right there on the sidelines was very impressive. And then Ayuk, I mean that it starts off with him. That route he ran, which is absolutely filthy. Like he put that.
Oh
corner,
yeah, it was.
Yeah, he put that corner in a spin cycle, and then when he got open, and what impresses me about Brock is his poise and his quick decision making. I feel like he's like top notch when it comes to that. And like you said, Miriah, on our last show, it comes down to him being a 4-year starter in a major conference. Like his experience, those big hits, his experience in poise, playing against the Ohio States and the Michigans and stuff like that. So he's played in a top conference. So the fact that he has that kind of composure and stuff is impressive for where he was drafted. If he was picked earlier or something like that, it probably wouldn't be as impressive. But the fact that like I say, him being Mr. Irrelevant, that shows a lot for what he played today. So, and he beat 2 good teams. We beat the Dolphins, we beat Tampa Bay. You can say what you want about their record, but they're still a pretty strong team, and they still have Tom Brady on that other side. So, yeah. Then our defense just made that man look absolutely average. I mean, he looked like he was playing a little timid out there himself. So. Hey, what's going on, Ty?
What's going
What's
on?
up, Ty?
Nothing much, man.
Hey, Ty.
How's everybody?
Real quick. Yeah, real quick before you go, everybody that's entered that hasn't already, drop your numbers for the giveaway. We'll start off with a Debo giveaway to show him some love and hope he's all right.
Yeah, that's why I put this hoodie on. Debo hoodie.
Real quick, I want to say what's up to the chat. And then David and Melissa, you guys both tied for the score prediction. You guys had both guessed, let me see, 31-13. So you guys were the closest. So I'll get you guys some goodies together.
What, my
Congrats,
Hi, my babies. Hi, my babies.
All right, Ty, as soon as Denise starts screaming in our ears, you can go. What's up, Shia? How you feeling?
Shout out to my brother too. He just got on the chat. Mac Molly Mall. You see him down there. It's his first time watching my show. So thank you for supporting me, bro.
What's going on,
up,
bro?
TLs, bro? Appreciate you coming through.
That's kind of how I feel about my family too. Is if I ever started a show, I got a bunch of Raider family members. So I don't think they'll be watching my show too much. They might be subscribed, but they won't be in the chat.
Ty, you good?
Yeah,
I'm good.
How you feeling? Talk to me.
I'm feeling great. Life is real good right now. Let me tell you. So a lot of people had the Miami game circled on their calendar this year. This was the game I had circled on mine. I wanted them frauds in our building to show they are who we thought they are. And we ain't letting them off the hook. Oh, it was great. Yep. I wanted a beat down, and I got a beat down, so I'm feeling good.
Amen, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of the very first tweets I put out today was, I want to see Tom Brady, our defense, get to him so bad that he's on the sidelines throwing tantrums, like breaking the freaking, we always see him breaking those freaking tablets, whatever they are. Like, that's what I wanted to see him like. And he was throwing tantrums pretty much throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
We didn't see him break anything, but I think our defense definitely showed up and did their job.
He didn't even wait to get to the sideline to throw tantrums. He was doing it on the field. First quarter. That lets you know. He heard the footsteps.
Oh yeah, he was. Did you guys love it when he got? I can't remember. I think it was the third. I think it was the third quarter. I'm pretty sure it was the third quarter. Me and my husband were literally dying laughing. He was like, he got sacked, and he like looked up at the sky, all like dazed and confused, like, and like his eyes rolled back, and me and my husband were like, bah! I told my husband, I'm like, if I could get a flip, if I knew how to do memes, I totally would make a meme of that. Of like, you punk ass motherfucker, I hate this ass so bad.
At least me and you, we partying tonight. Oh.
Damien says, I bet Brady's going to cry in his car on the way home.
Yeah.
He crying in the car for sure.
Oh, for sure. Did you guys see, too? Somebody posted, and I didn't even know this, that man had 100 friends and family members attend that game.
Yep.
Oh, he did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he's from what, San Mateo or something like that?
Yeah.
He's from the Bay Area. So, yeah, he had 100 friends and family members there to witness that disaster.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How you perform?
You know what, TL? That just made my night that much sweeter.
Yep.
Because Brady's not looking like Brady. Like,
he's not.
You should go out with at least a little bit of dignity, like it's time to freaking hang it up. Like your teammates can't stand your ass. The fans can't stand your ass. Like, just go.
And you know what's crazy about that too? No, you're good. And you know what's crazy about that too? You can tell that Tom Brady's, on his last leg and stuff, because that man got weapons. I mean, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, Fournette. I mean, the list goes on, and yet he still can't put up the numbers that that he should be putting up as Tom Brady. So I agree, Miriah. I never want, like we said this before, we never want to tell a man, whoever the case may be, that when it's time to retire. But sometimes you just need to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, man, like I got all this talent around me. I'm not executing. I got 7 Super Bowls. Like, is it really still worth it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
you already lost your wife, broke up your family, like, what, you're going out now a loser. You could have went out on top, As soon as he won that first Super Bowl there in Tampa Bay, he should have retired then.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Like a loser.
I definitely agree, but there's something about him. There's a switch that he turns on, and you guys seen it the last game. He come back. It was like 4 minutes left of the game, and he goes and wins, puts up 2 touchdowns. Our defense is a little bit different, and this whole game, his offensive line wasn't able to hold up for our defensive line. We were getting at him. So he still has it. I won't count him out. If he gets into the playoffs, I won't count him out either. But, yeah, I think he's getting a little bit too old there. I don't
I'm going to challenge you on that one. And it's simply because if you go back and you look at last game, the Saints game, or when they played the Rams, he sucked the entire game, and his defense kept him in those games. And
but that's where I'm saying he turns it on.
Mistakes by the opposing team allowed them to come back.
Yep.
And he didn't turn anything on. It's just they played so poorly at the end. He was able to make a couple of plays that wound up giving them a touchdown or 2 touchdowns in the case of last game that helped them win. So it's not really turning on a switch. It's like, okay, these teams played so poorly, they gave away those games. We didn't do that today. As you see, we kept our foot on his throat and said, nah.
He threw the ball pretty good today too, and if there wasn't a couple holding calls that came back on him, he would have scored on us. He does have weapons. He's getting old, but he still can play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw the winner for this giveaway real quick.
Sounds good.
Before you guys go. Good luck.
Ooh, I should have entered the chat under my false name.
43.
It was almost
Even
44 again, is he?
You guys can enter.
Yeah, you guys can enter being on the panel. I'm just excluded. That's it.
Let's
No love for the
see.
co-host. No.
We got 49.
49 for Christy.
38. What's closer?
What's the number again?
43.
38 is closer. That's 5. No, wait. Yeah, that's 5 away. And 49. Oh, she had 49. Yeah, 6. Yeah. I was trying to figure out
Okay.
what numbers. Yeah, I was looking at her number and Izzy's. Yeah, 38's closer.
Melissa's cleaning house, winning the score
Way to go,
prediction.
Melissa.
This is what you get, Melissa. Debo Samuel, red, white, and blue prism. And then we'll throw in this Ayuk too.
Nice.
Whoop whoop!
Congrats.
Congratulations, Izzy.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You know what? I know we always talk about this, on our shows about giving, who we're gonna give our flowers to and stuff. But I just want to give a second shout out because you did it on our last show to Demo. I mean, I was worried about that man against Jalen Waddle, and Jalen Waddle was a non-factor, no impact at
Mhm.
all. And the fact that he had to shadow Chris Godwin all game, and he didn't do much either. So he's showing his worth. He's getting better every single game. And Chris Godwin, people forget 2 years ago before the ACL tear, he made the Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That's a Pro Bowl receiver.
Legit Pro Bowl receiver.
Absolutely, he made the Pro Bowl. So the fact that he's been sticking on these dudes like white on rice, these last couple games, I got to give that man his props, man.
What I would love to see, and you saw at this game, D'Amico Ryans was playing a matchup. He was flipping Ward, having Ward follow Mike Evans, moving those guys around. I think they're playing so solid, you don't need to do that. I think Tarvarius Ward could stay on his defensive left side, and Deommodore Lenoir could stay on his defensive right, and just let them play their positions. Let them man that up and lock it down like they've been doing all season. Because they've both shown the ability to stick with their guy and hold up.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, this defense, man, I always sit back and I tell everybody, one of the defenses I love was the one from 2012, just had guys all around the field. Like on paper, you can say that defense was better, but the stats show that this one is playing better. You know what I mean? Like the way, because I love watching me some Justin Smith, Patrick Willis, Ahmad Brooks, Bowman, Goldson. The list goes on. List goes on. We have some hitters on there. But man, the way that D'Amico Ryans has been calling these games and putting people in position to succeed has been very impressive. Like this defense is like, I think you said it, Miriah, I think we're number one in every defensive category except for two.
Yeah.
And that's wild.
We're basically one across the board and everything.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Swan,
think-
would
What's up,
you bet or
Swan?
what?
Swan, you
Yeah, I
back,
was
bro?
having technical difficulties. I had to switch out the mic and do all this stuff. One thing that I could say off the top of my head about this defense is compared to like 2012, as far as just from a viewing standpoint, the 2012, there was something that you could just depend on. You get what I'm saying? Like you always kind of knew like how the game was going to go by just watching them. The Niners, like, don't get me wrong, they've been balling, but I don't get the same feel. Grant, the stats don't say that. The stats say that they're just as good, right? But the feel of it, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's hard for me to explain. The pass rush is amazing, obviously. Our linebackers are great. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's the KC game that still has like a bitter taste in my mouth. You know what I mean? Like, because they like gouged us so bad. I mean, granted, we had injuries and all that, and I get that. But I'm the one thing when Trey went down week 2, the one thing that I said was like, hey, I'm looking forward to watching this D. Like I was really jazzed about this D. And man, when they had the whole, what's that?
You're looking forward to watching that.
He didn't
D,
pause
like,
on that
man.
one.
Oh,
I say pause, man. Pause.
easy. But but I'm happy about it. It's like I said in the last, before the Miami game, I was like, hey, if this defense can freaking ball out these next 2 or 3 opponents and like show me, then I'm a believer, right? And like, dude, they made freaking Tua look freaking scared shitless, right? Because that I've watched that dude all year. That guy has been on the money. Like I said it to everyone. I go, I watched one game from him last year. I go, yeah, he's actually pretty good. He's pretty accurate. This year, I'm like, dude, this dude is crazy accurate. And that game, he looked like a punk. Man, he looked so bad. I was like, well, this is unbelievable how bad he looks. And that does remind me of how the 2012 team was, because that 2012 team was so press man that I swear, if you weren't a badass quarterback, we made you look silly. Like, they look silly. You made like quarterbacks that were like solid look just bad, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you guys remember that New England game back in 2012, right? When we went to Foxborough, we beat their ass. We beat their ass that game. And that defense, yeah. But I don't want to take anything away from this defense, like I said, and we still have a whole year to play. But I'm very happy about it.
Yeah. Hey, Miriah, before we move on, I have a question for the room. If we can go or do a little round table. I was on Spaces at a halftime, and people were kind of indifferent on the decision that Kyle being up 21-0, running Debo in between the tackles. I, for one, don't like it. I mean, I get it. I mean, so let me just say this. I'm not one of those dudes that's going to complain and be like, oh, you should have took your starters out, because I feel like Kyle sometimes can't win. He takes him out too early. It's, we should have kept him in. We take him out instead of kept him in. However, I think the flow of this game was just sad because of the simple fact that the way that, he ran Debo up on that play for 21-0, what I feel was unnecessary, when Jordan Mason and Tevin Coleman didn't get any snaps that whole game. Like, I feel like Jordan Mason is a running back. I understand that Debo has stuff in his claws, that sit there and say like, oh, he gets a certain amount of incentives if he runs the ball, but you still got to look at game flow, the way the game is going, time of possession, all this stuff. Like, we were killing everything in that game. So the fact that he ran them up inside the tackles, to me, was a little reckless, which I would have gave that ball instead to Jordan Mason or to Tevin Coleman instead. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? Because I feel like the injury was kind of unnecessary, in my opinion. But like I said, I'm not going to fault Kyle. Like, it's a play, like it's it's one of those things, it's football. People are going to get hurt. But I just felt like, let your running backs be running backs. Like that first play when Debo scored, it was he ran that outside the tackles, you know what I mean? Like, it was outside. But this inside stuff, I just don't get it, why you have a bruiser in Jordan Mason who's been running well, and then you got a veteran in Tevin Coleman who are running backs, and you don't use them instead. I don't understand. So on my screen, to my right is Bryant Cope. So if you want to comment to that, I'd like to see what you want to say. Then we go Denise, Ty, Swan, and then we'll finish up with Miriah.
Okay, I'll try to be super quick with my thoughts. It's like, last couple of games we've been saying, why do we want CMC running up the middle? And then he runs up the middle today and does good. So sometimes when you are playing and you are up a bunch of points, you want the ball too. And Debo is a competitor. He says, I want the ball too, Kyle, and he wants the ball any way he can get it. And if you make somebody complacent and you think, oh, anytime he gets the ball, he's going to go to the outside or he's just going to go in the middle, then you can kind of key off of it. It was one of those freak accident plays, injuries. So I'd let him just keep playing the way he was, because we haven't been overutilizing him. We've been giving him the ball. I think it was just one of those freak accidents. So you can't always say, this person does well here and doesn't do it well. It's just sometimes some plays are better than others and executed better.
Cool. Denise, what's your thoughts?
I'm kind of indifferent, because even the running backs, I actually don't like it when we cram them up the middle. So I'm like some of those plays, it seems like we get good, they open up and we get they open up the heavens, however you want to say it, and they get good run. And then sometimes it seems like we're just crashing them into 300-pound men, and they go nowhere. So even with the running back, sometimes I hate that call. So like, but I kind of agree with I'm sorry, the last person. I agree with him. I do feel like Kyle is almost damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Like, I think like our fan base, it doesn't matter what he does. Like, he gets blamed, like, no matter what he does. So it's like, but I literally watched that replay very closely, and I think even if it would have been Jordan Mason who ran that ball, like, he literally got bent over. Like, if you watched how they tackled him, it literally was just the way Debo landed and how they tackled him. Like, he literally got just they literally twisted him like a pretzel. So I think it was just one of those football plays where it was, yeah, it was just a football play. I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm in the middle. I'm kind of like with UTL, where I'm like, I don't really like any of them like that, but you know, but I get it. And I also see the other side where, like, if Kyle always uses Debo on the outside, then the defense is going to key in on that. And then, you know what I mean? They're going to know to just like tackle him right away. And then he's not going to have any, you know, any yardage that way either. So I don't know. That's my thoughts.
Oh, that's a good thought. What's up, Ty? What about you?
Okay, so one, it was a freak football injury. Guy landed on his leg, drug it. These things happen. I disagree with utilizing Debo for this reason. We know he's been dealing with a quad injury and a hamstring injury. So running him up the middle means he's going to run tough, which puts a lot of stress on those legs. And seeing as we're playing Thursday, I don't want that stress on his legs. Now, when CMC took himself out the game, because that's the only time he comes out now, if he takes himself out, and you saw him, he was gassed. He was breathing. I was like, okay, this is Jordan Mason time. And we know if you're going to run up the middle, Jordan Mason is going to run tough, and he's an automatic 5 yards running between the tackles. That's the perfect time to use him, especially when you're up 21. Their defense has been on the field a lot, and they're breathing heavy. Bring in your bruiser. That's the time to send that message that we are going to run it down your throat and take this game over. So that's why I disagree with using Debo there and would have preferred Mason in there at that moment.
And you know what, Ty? That was perfectly said, because too, defense has been gassed up to that point. You give it to Mason, who hasn't had a single snap.
Yeah.
You put him in here with fresh legs, fresh wind. He's going to go in there and beat you guys up. And it could have been a situation where, like, Debo was on the field the whole time too. So the situation is maybe he would have been better as an impact running up the middle because his legs were fresh and he wasn't tired. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I get your point on that too.
Those are valid points. I didn't think of it like that, but that's really valid.
Yeah, and that you nailed it. I mean, that's when it initially happened. I was like, God damn it! The first thing I thought of, why are we running Debo up the middle? Like, dude, Jordan Mason's there. We're up 21-0. They don't have Vita Vea out there. We're gashing them. There's no need to run up the middle. I get Denise makes a great point about you know, the whole, you know, keeping them honest in a way. I'm not so sure about that, but it's a great point. I can't say if that's right or wrong, but I think it's a great point. I think what we've seen this year is Debo getting up the middle hasn't done much, and him getting it to the sides, you know, off to the perimeter, he's still, you know, doing his thing. So that one's a hard, you know, the one thing what Denise said, it was like, you know, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't with Kyle. Well, you know, that's just the way it is when you're on a team and you've coached it for 6 years, and especially on the 49ers, how hungry this fan base is wanting, you know, a Super Bowl, right? Because you got a lot of old heads. It's like, dude, we haven't seen one since '94. New heads are like, gosh, I hate hearing these old heads talk about a Super Bowl. Why can't I get one? You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, it's. I think the way that Kyle is, dude, he wants to min-max everything. right? He literally wants to min-max everything, and he doesn't think always about the risk reward. That's just the way I mean, we saw this. I mean, we've seen it multiple times, but the same thing with Trey, right? It's like, I get it. You're trying to min-max him. You're trying to make him the best possible quarterback that he is right now at the moment, and setting up for Trey to be as successful as he can as a thrower of the football by running the ball. I get that, but at the same time, dude, the real life happens quick, right? And we saw that, and like when you run up the middle, there's going to be so many entanglements that happen that don't happen when you run into the outside. And man, we just saw it again. And I hate to be one of those dudes that's like, dude, but that's going to be the theme this week. Let's not even. You guys already know that's going to be the theme this week. It's depending on what we hear from Debo. Hopefully, it's not too bad. But I just hope that Kyle at some point kind of does a reassessment of the risk reward on everything. I get it. He's a min-maxer, and that's why he's really good at what he does. But at the same time, someone needs to step him aside and go, dude, you gotta chill. You gotta chill sometimes, right?
I
agree with you.
I agree with the call. Sorry, Denise. I agree with the call. And even if Deebo Samuels had not gotten hurt on that play, I still want to see Jordan Mason in there.
Yeah, definitely.
For the reasons I stated, bring in the run with the fresh legs and let him pound it.
Yeah, right.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with everybody, but I think what's been happening is they've been running certain players in the beginning of the game, first and second quarter, and then coming out in third and fourth. And I think that's what they were trying to do with Mason. I think that's why it was 21 points. It was still the second quarter. And I think they were waiting to come out and run the rock at the end of third and fourth. And if you notice, third and fourth quarter, Mason did come out and start getting the ball more often. Yeah. So I think that was the initial plan. Debo is just a casualty.
Yeah. What up, JV?
What's up, JV?
What's going on, man?
What's up, family?
JV?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I was destroyed when Devo went down. I went from level 10 on the happy scale to -10, disgusted and confused. But I agree. Like I'm not really. I'm not upset with Kyle for the way that he's using Deebo, because I mean, look, fam, these guys have to distribute the ball amongst all these weapons somewhat evenly to get value out of what you're paying them. I mean, you can't have Deebo making X amount of millions of dollars and not touching the ball. We've got to disperse the ball evenly, and it's something that Kyle's doing very, very well. I won't hate on that. As far as Jordan Mason, look, you've got to be able to do three things in Shanahan's system. You need to be able to block, pass catch, and I guess
not fumble the ball
and not fumble the ball. Fair enough. I was going to say know the scheme, but there's four things that you need, and maybe five, and maybe six, and so on and so forth. But I just don't know that Mason checks all those boxes yet. So we don't know if they trust him in pass protection. I was listening to Breezy and Mose talk about it. They brought up a valid point, right? Maybe Mason just hasn't checked those boxes yet. Maybe he's still developing in areas of what Kyle expects, or maybe it's just this of what it is, right? He's just the closer, But I gotta push back on some of my own shit in a sense, because CMC cannot be used as a power back. You are using CMC in situational football, and it's just unnecessary. So
that's the thing. It's
totally agree.
It's unnecessary. I get where you brought up a good point about distributing the ball. He's done that. That's awesome, right? Yep. But some things are not necessary. Did you guys see Jerry Rice's tweet?
I did.
Yeah. No. What did he say?
Please stop running our skilled players up the middle. Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, now 19 problems, all hurt.
Yeah.
Exclamation mark.
Same type of
However-
injury too. If you look at it, kind of the same injury, like a lower leg injury.
Yeah.
Yep.
However,
Every
you
one
know,
of them.
do you guys notice that Jerry Rice and Steve Young tend to stir the pot more? Steve
Yes.
Young than Jerry, right?
Yes.
They say one thing and then they contradict themselves, and they're hypocrites at times. And I have no problem fucking calling them out, right?
Yeah.
However, Jerry is very much involved in Twitter, sees 49ers Twitter, and you know what? If he's the voice of what we're thinking, so be it. You know what I'm saying? So be it. But at times, I think Steve Young, more so than anyone, hits my nerves.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know why I held back an F-bomb, but
no,
That's why.
you know, don't care on here. Yeah, no, I feel you on that, JV, because I feel like it's one of those things with Steve Young where he flip flops. Like I don't mind you stirring the pot if you're consistent. Like if you're just one of these guys who just says, but for him to sit there beginning of the season saying like, oh, Trey Lance is everything you're looking for in this system. He can make every throw. He's this and that and the other. Then all of a sudden, week 12, he's like, oh, I signed Jimmy for another 10 years. Like, come on, bro. Like that's the kind of stuff. Yeah.
That one was weird.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was weird.
And watch tomorrow, he'll say something about Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Or even tonight. The night's not over.
Yeah.
Sure,
He's probably preparing something, a statement now.
Yeah, for sure.
But I want to go back to Jordan Mason real quick with John B's point. I agree with you on him not checking all the boxes. It's clear that CMC is a better pass protector than he is.
Oh, sure.
And we know he's a better catcher of the football. But in a situation where you're calling a power run play, it's just hand the ball up to the guy and go up to – you're going to run up the B gap.
It's our man against your man.
We know he can do that. That box is checked.
Yep.
Yeah, and even if they know it's coming, because that's the thing about Niner footballs, right? Like when you play physical, it's like it's our man, your man. Let's see who wins. And at that point, they were reeling. They don't even have Vita Vea, dude. Vita Vea make that whole D line work. Like he's with. That's why their rush defense has been poor average this year, right? At the beginning of the year, it was great, but it's been average. It's because Vita Vea has been in and out of that lineup. He's been playing hurt.
I got to step in here and stick up for Kyle just a little bit.
Of course.
So you all are bagging on him, but the other game, I seem to recall a certain rookie like turning the wrong way to hand off the ball and the running back turning the wrong way to get the ball. So it isn't as easy as just like, here's the ball, run up the B gap. So all you mofos up here saying, it ain't no big deal, just take the ball, run up the B gap. I think there's a little more to it than that, all my brothers. Just a little more to it than that. So I think my brother Kyle knows what he's talking about. So I'm sorry, I got to stick up for my boy.
100%.
And the first plays that he got in the game, like in these past, not these most recent games, but the first couple plays he ever got on the field on regular snaps, he blew his pass blocking assignments. So
he did.
That definitely has something to do with it. It's not just, I heard.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, again,
but he already.
We all know.
So.
We all know that Denise is a Kyle lover, but that goes without saying. But I got to stick up for my boy.
I'm waiting for Denise to say, "He's a coach. What are you guys? You guys are just freaking, just sitting on a talk show. Like he's a coach.
You know what,
you guys."
Swan, I can't believe you would even say that. I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken, Swan. I'm heartbroken.
You didn't say that though. I'm playing.
I think
yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Make a comment.
No, I totally agree with everybody, but like everybody's been saying, I think we all are getting into it. You pay your skilled players so much money, you don't want them to get hurt, but at a certain point, skilled players want the ball. And we know Debo's went up before and said, Kyle, give me the ball. We don't know if he did that this game, but if he did, or maybe there was like some thumbs up, give me the ball, and he got the ball. He just got hurt this game. Maybe he got the ball because Mason wasn't ready. Maybe he got the ball because they wanted to give Christian McCaffrey a break this game. It's just
Yeah,
weird.
we're saying. I mean, I don't mind him getting the ball. Just don't get the ball up.
Yeah, I agree with that, Brian. I just think you got to look at the situation. Like it's not like
They
we
get
needed
too
to play.
cute.
It's not like we're losing the game or like like when we're playing the Cowboys. This was a crucial game. This is win or go home. So Debo's like, give me the ball so I can make the play. And unfortunately, it worked out for us. But I'm just saying that when you're up 21-0, so was the second quarter he got hurt? The third.
Yep.
Yeah. 21.
He turned.
Yeah,
he
21-0.
turned.
Well, like we were saying, JV, before you popped on, it's like if 21-0 up to that point, Jordan Mason hadn't seen any snaps. And like you said, if you want to run a power run with since Christian McCaffrey's taking a breather, that's why you have running backs to spill him. You know what I'm saying? So
where's Tevin Coleman?
Exactly my point. And another point.
There's a veteran. Dude didn't touch the ball not once.
Exactly.
Did they bring him up? Did they even bring him up?
Yeah, because
they did bring him up. Okay.
Yeah, because TDP was inactive because of the elevating Tico that made TDP inactive. So TDP now is giving me Ambry Thomas vibes because he's just getting swapped around, bro. Like I'm for real. Like
no, I know.
Like I have concerns about the run game now because Mason's not checking all the boxes, so you're not going to be adamant to use him from the first quarter. You're going to wait to give him cleanup duty in the start of the third quarter or middle of the third quarter. Like we need more. So we need it back.
So the one thing, like my son he was like, "Oh, Dad, Debo's done. It's over." Like I'm like, "Okay." I go, "Dude, it sucks. This injury sucks. I get it." But I go, the one thing that I could say, the only positive I could say is that I go, Debo and Christian is kind of interchangeable in a way.
They are.
Right?
Yep.
And I go, yes, it sucks to not have Debo out there because he's made this, the way that this offense is now when Christian has been added, it's like, dude, what are you going to do? You have Debo lined up on the left side. You have Christian in the backfield or lined up on the right side. They have to pick one that they're going to flow to, right? You can't just flow to both. And then you still have Kittle, Ayuk, and Juice. Like, it is ridiculous. It is an embarrassment of riches, dude. It is an embarrassment. And I'm not trying to take away Purdy's thing. I guess I am. But, dude, no. If you look at all the rookies that were like, they put up Tom Brady's 0-6 against all these nobodies that played against them. I go, dude, tell me if any of those guys had the team that this team is on. I'm like, that is such a stupid stat, right? And then I was like, dude, he is like totally set up to do well. And that's the thing of why I am so frustrated and pissed with like Niner fans. It's like, dude, you realize that Trey could have easily had the same game, right, as what Purdy did today and looked even better, right? I'm just saying it could have been easily Trey. There's nothing that Purdy did out there that you're like, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I will give him credit that he is poised, that he does take a chance, is that he does looks like he can, read his progressions right and everything. He's smart. But don't tell me there weren't a couple of balls that were thrown today where I'm like, bro, that's like if they had good corners, like a Pro Bowl type of corner, you would not be surprised if it got picked, right?
Or even just their starting corners.
22 seconds left before the end of the half, where he throws it right to the linebacker. I'm like, dude, no, like this game is going fine. Don't give Brady like freaking a minute at the 50-yard line.
Swan, is it fair to say though that Brock Purdy could be a little more accurate than Trey Lance?
No,
we're all Trey Lance. We're all Trey Lance supporters here, but I mean, let's be able to say,
but John, but is it fair to say that if Trey Lance missed that first pass that he threw over the head of George Kittle, that instantly people would be saying, "Oh, look at that! Look at that!"
Yeah, but I mean, we could say that. We can nitpick a bunch of those. I'm just saying, as a whole, what we've seen from Trey and what we've seen from Brock in 2 games, right? Look, I could be wrong, and it could just be the simple fact that Brian Greasy is changing this quarterback room for the better. Okay, we could sit here and argue with half the fan base and say, look, you know what, Trey is this and Brock is that, Jimmy's this. But with the addition of CMC, which Trey never got an opportunity to play with, whom has changed the entire offense, right?
Yeah.
So is it fair to say that maybe all those arguments go out the window and Brian Greasy gets his flowers for actually being a quarterback's coach on this squad who is actually making a difference?
Well, yeah, totally. Because there's in two things. One thing this year, or one of the things that I've said for the last 2 years is like, dude, the old Niners used to pass to the running backs and fullbacks all the time. Like that was staple, right? And ever since this year, man, and especially with McCaffrey coming in, like even Juice at the beginning of the year was getting more balls, and you're like, wow, Juice is getting thrown at? Like what? Right? And then now with McCaffrey, like he's getting what, 6, 7, 8 receptions a game? Like when is the last time Niners running backs have gotten that many receptions? Granted, he is a gifted player. Like he is a gifted wide receiver. He catches pretty much everything. He has great body, does everything right? Like this is what this offense needed, right? And like if Trey could have something like that where he can dump off to someone like as reliable as McCaffrey, where if you don't hit it right on, he'll still catch it. Dude, that's what makes me positive about this offense. Like that is the one thing that makes me really positive about this offense. And if Purdy can just keep on doing what he's doing right now and they play an inspired ball, you never know. The Cinderella might be asking for a better story.
Hey, Miriah, did you want to do the giveaway real quick or what? Or did you want to, or are we good?
Yeah, we're good. I'll do it before we leave.
Okay, I just want to say this. So, JV, to piggyback off of what you just said, I feel right now that Brock Purdy, what he does have on Trey right now is he's a quicker decision maker. I will say that. I feel like he's a quick decision maker. Now, I will say this. I think Trey overall is more talented. And I just feel like it comes down to a thing where, because I think Brock Purdy being in the system for 4 years, in a kind of like a similar style offense with Kyle, like I think he's ready more to run what Kyle wants to do with this offense.
Right.
However, I think Trey overall, once he gets comfortable and gets his reps, he will undeniably be the best quarterback on this roster because because of his arm, because of what he can do with his legs, stuff like that. He adds other elements to what Brock Purdy and Jimmy can't do. You know what I'm saying? But I think what this comes with, but I agree with Swan. I just feel like, and you look at the 4 games that Trey played in, Kittle was gone in 2 of them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He'd have Kittle in both of those, which everybody always says is a rookie security blanket, especially with the tight end like Kittle. So out of 4 games, Kittle was gone too. He hasn't had a running back of this caliber. So I really believe that, and I said this before. I came on here week 3, week 4 of preseason, or week 3 of preseason, and I said I fully expect Trey to struggle the first half of the season. I go, but our defense is good enough to win us games. So yeah. I said by the bye week, I feel like Trey will have enough reps to be comfortable to be able to help this offense move forward. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I know right now everybody's up in the air. I know it's what have you done for me lately and all this other stuff. Yep. But Brock Purdy is looking excellent. Don't get me wrong. He's looking excellent out there. His poise, his command of the huddle, because I think of the reps that he has. But I think it's one of those things where you look at the NBA. Usually the first top 5 draft picks are all, what's the word I want to use? They're all projects. They have all the talent in the world. They got the size, the speed, the ability to be great, but just haven't done it. Then you got the players who get drafted in like the late 20s who are like, but played 4 years in college. They come in and make an immediate impact with the team, but then 2-3 years down the road, the first overall picks are doing better than them because they got time to elevate their game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, experience.
So I think that's what it comes down to it. And I know, and I think what it is with Trey, it's going to be there's going to be some arguments going on, of course. Should Brock Purdy be the man going forward? I will say this: I'm all about playing the best guy. Okay. I'm a Trey Lance fan. I bet on him to be our quarterback in the draft. I want some money off him and all the other stuff. All I'm going to say is, if he takes us to the promised land, Jimmy's gone. And I think that it's fair to say, Trey, Brock Purdy, you battle out in training camp preseason and the best man win. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. But I do believe Trey has the ability and is the most talented quarterback on this roster.
I agree with that. And we're all victims of the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy is here now. We haven't seen Trey basically all season. So he's the guy we're talking about. And Brock Purdy has one thing up on Trey right now that we all can't deny. He's played in 2 consecutive games, basically 2 full consecutive games.
Yep.
So we can say we've seen at least a 2 consecutive performances by him where he's done some things. We unfortunately didn't get to see that from Trey. So we're all kind of victims of the moment right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair point.
I agree with you, TL. Let him battle it out in camp. Let's whatever happens. I don't care if we don't ever win another game. Let these guys battle out in camp and let the best man win, because I want the best QB on the field who can take advantage of all these weapons and do the best job out there.
Yeah, and Bryant brought up a good point earlier on the call where he's like, competition makes everyone better. And the thing about it is, and I think you're right, TL, absolutely right, is about Trey has shown accuracy. He did it at NDSU. He did it in the limited time he's played. He had 2 bad practices and a bad preseason game, and people lost their shit, right?
Yes, but Trey was also a giant amongst men there.
He
ran over teams.
Accuracy, though. That has nothing to do with accuracy.
It doesn't, but I mean, he wasn't in a Power 5 conference either.
Yeah, but okay, everyone said that about Christian Watson. He has 8 TDs in 4 games. Christian Watson was playing with plumbers. And he's not going to do that in the NFL. He has 8 TDs in 4 games. The last person that did that was Randy Moss. So I don't care about all of that playing with, I get it. But at the same time,
I'm not saying that defines the kid. I'm just saying, like, we have to put the facts out on the table.
Right. No,
that doesn't make Trey less. It just means he's more raw.
Accuracy has nothing to do with a guy that's like, what I'm saying is the quick game that he played at NDSU has really nothing to do with the guy that you're up against, right? It's getting a guy that's open right there, like quick game, like, you know what I mean?
Swan,
like,
I'm talking more mechanics than anything. Okay, I'm going to talk more mechanics. Like, Brock Purdy puts better touch on the football than Trey Lance did his first outing, right?
Yeah,
stronger arm.
Different. Yeah,
Trey is a different style quarterback. That's fair. But there's still different. There's still mechanics that one QB possesses that are slightly a little bit more refined than the other, and that's okay. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Like, it's I'm not trying to take anything away from Trey, because no one wants to see him succeed more than this entire panel on the screen right now.
No,
right?
I'm just saying is that people, like, as far as the mechanics, to me, I've never had an issue with it, but I'm not an expert. But I rely on people that do talk about those things, and Crocker has said it multiple times where he's had QB analysts and where he's talking about, hey, what's wrong with Trey's mechanics? I remember he said he asked, what's the guy that does a lot of the quarterback? He was an ex-Niner.
Cannell?
No.
I'm sorry. No.
He's a big one in this space.
JT O'Sullivan. JT O'Sullivan.
Crocker asked JT O'Sullivan, hey, mechanics, nothing wrong with it. Fine. There's bigger fish to fry. That's not like, sure, you can make it better and things like that, but it's fine. It's not like it's Tim Tebow out there, right? And that's what people are trying to paint it to be. So that's when I hear things like that, I instantly not get triggered, but yeah, I guess I get triggered. I want to stop that at right there, right? Because everyone says that, but every time an analyst, a QB analyst comes up there, they're like, dude, it's fine. Yes, he can improve on little things here and there, but he's good, right? Like, that's good. I think
I've seen it both ways. I've seen it both ways.
And let me tell you fellas this. Let me tell you fellas this though. And Ty made up an excellent point. We haven't seen Trey start 2 full consecutive games. Like, he played against the Bears in that monsoon, and then he got hurt early in that Seattle game. And then as a rookie, he played week 7, week 6 or something against Arizona that had another 8 weeks in between starts. So he hasn't been able to chance to even get into a rhythm. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
I think what it comes down to it is this, fellas and ladies and gentlemen. What it comes down to it is this team is so good. A lot of this fan base don't have the patience to wait for Trey. They want instant results. They want, I want the best quarterback now. So, and I get it. Brock Purdy has the upper hand because of his experience. He has the reps, stuff like that. And I think Trey, I mean, if you look at it, he really hasn't played a full season since 2019, 2020, something like that, because of COVID. He had COVID, then he was a rookie. So since 2019, he's played 4 NFL games. So I think that's where the concern comes in, that where they're just like, well, Trey's not ready. Only way you get ready is to get your reps. David McNew just said it. Get your reps. I mean, you see somebody like Trevor Lawrence. He's starting to figure it out after almost 2 full seasons. Yeah. He was the first pick who had reps at Clemson, top 5 conference, who killed it, won a national championship, played he was trash last year, dog water last year. This year, he his last 2 games, he's played great, but look how long it's taken him. It's taken him, 25, 26 weeks to figure it out. Everybody's different. So I think it just comes down to it. I think when Trey gets healthy, Trey gets the command of this team. He already has I know Brock Purdy's playing now, but Trey, has the rapport with Ayuk, and he did go all training camp, all preseason. The dude on the sidelines looks hungry. He's rooting for his team, but he's sitting there like, man.
My heart breaks.
Yeah. Oh, he's sitting there like, man, this is what's going on. But I feel like go ahead, Swan.
I just want to add this. I get what you're saying about the 2 years and stuff, and I'm not trying to set expectations on Trey. I'm just saying that there also is a scenario where Trey comes in, and after a few games, he looks good. He did good where the team can win. We're not saying final form, because everyone I saw this tweet the other day is like, one of the things that it's hard to swallow from all these content creators is that they always tell us that Trey is going to be ready in 2 years, right? But I think when people say that, what TL is saying is that is like, you should have patience, but it is no way in saying, he is not also saying, it's going to guaranteed take 2 years, because it might not. He still can be still successful even in his form right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I have faith in. And that's what makes me so frustrated, because I think if he stayed in that Seattle game, how they were setting it up, that he would have gotten everything. He would have had a big game. Like, that's what sucks so bad. But hey, you know what? And the thing about it is that the scary thing too is that, like, I want this kid to be successful. I like everything about him as a prospect. I love everything from the talent, from the character, from everything, just the total vibe. That he's the number 1 prospect that I've had for the Niners ever, right? Like, I'm just so happy about it. But I've said this to myself. That's why sometimes things just don't work, just because it's luck, right? Like, him getting injured is unlucky. Yes, I know part of it is irresponsibility, I think, but it's unlucky. And I just knock on wood that, please, football gods, just let him have a injury-free span of like 8 games, please. Please.
The football gods don't give a shit about us.
Nope.
I'm just put that out there right now.
Not at all.
You want to say
But
something?
you
They
know
owe
what?
us, bro. They
I
owe
rated
us.
them everything.
They owe us.
But
now,
you know
dude.
what? But you know what? What TL said is 100% correct. Because if we all remember correctly, I seem to recall Eagle fans writing off Jalen Hurts.
Oh,
Everyone was ready to kick his ass to the curb.
Not even just
Everyone
Eagle fans,
said
everyone.
Yep.
Everyone said he was a bust. Look at him now. Everybody
Coaching.
said he was a bust. Everybody was like, he sucks.
Josh Allen,
He's a
Jalen.
bust.
Yep.
Yes, all of them. So what TL said is 100%. It is not, Trey Lance is not going to just come on the field. And I mean, I'm hoping that's what happens.
Right.
But Trey Lance is not going to be full form for at least 2 years. I mean, that's what I'm expecting.
But you can
like,
still win, even if he's not.
Yeah, of course we can. Of course we can still win.
Yeah.
Listen,
Sometime.
one thing here. Okay, once again, people have short-term memory. If you look at Trey Lance's last, let's say his last 2 games, right? It was the start against the Texans, shaky first half, lit it up the second half.
There it is.
Everyone said, okay, when this kid settles down and gets comfortable, he's the future. The Chicago game, he missed some things, but he did some great things also.
Dude, those layered throws, bro.
Bruh. Okay. Now look in between that, the preseason. Do you remember that start versus Green Bay?
Yep.
Mhm.
Ball to
Yeah.
Danny Gray.
Do,
Yep.
do we remember hitting Danny Gray in stride for that big chunk play?
Dude, you
Yep.
see how
Hey.
happy Kyle was? Like, dude, that's when I knew Kyle loved Trey, that was his guy. Did you see him
Exactly.
look like, oh man, you're my bro? Like, I've
And-
never seen Kyle that happy. Never.
And remember, it was in the offseason when Kyle said, this is Trey's team. He knows it's his team. His teammates knows it's his team. Everybody in the building knows it's his team. It's you stupid media people who keep questioning it. He didn't say that part, but we know he implied it.
You know something.
He has confidence in Trey Lance.
He
It's
does.
others that keep saying Trey isn't ready. But Kyle gave him the reins.
I like that, Ty, because that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, we forget. Dude, I forget. Like we forget because of all the shit that gets shoved down our throat. We consume so much content that we eventually consume so much content that we forget. And I have no problems admitting that. Like I can be wrong when I'm wrong, bro, and I can forget when I forget. But the one thing that concerns me the most is what have you done for me lately? That one thing concerns me the most because right now Brock Purdy is just rolling, right? And the experience that he's gathering down the stretch with the potential, with the opportunity and the skill set to move us into the postseason as he's played so far, right? Because I needed to see one thing. How can Brock Purdy, how does he adjust? How does he look versus a Todd Bowles defense? That was my concern, right? Now, I don't want to take anything away from Brock, but this Todd Bowles defense is a little shaken up and a little bit banged up.
Very true.
Quite frankly, they look a lot like we did versus Kansas City, if I'm going to be honest, right? But I don't want to water down. I don't want to dilute this experience that we're getting from Brock Purdy because I love it. I love it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
This team has embraced the next man up mentality from every single position, maybe with the exception of long snapper. I think we've always shit the bed there. But at the end of the day,
Wait.
this
Tabor
team-
Pepper's doing his thing, though.
Yeah, we got a good long
Tabor
snapper
Pepper's
right now. What are
good,
you
yeah.
talking about?
Wait.
No, when
John
Tabor was suspended, I think we were like, I don't think we were doing so well in the long snapper. Tabor, yes, absolutely, no argument.
Oh yeah.
When did Tabor get suspended? Because I know the long snapper prior to that got suspended, and we were having problems, and
I think
that's
that's
why
who
we let him go.
I think that's who
Tabor
he's
Pepper's
thinking
been
of.
solid.
Yeah, I think it's
No,
who he's thinking
Tabor-
of. It was the guy before Tabor Pepper who got
Who
suspended.
got suspended, yeah.
And we
Yeah.
cut
Oh,
him. I just can't remember his name.
Tabor wasn't suspended for
Not that I
Talking
know
about
of.
PEDs and stuff like that.
PEDs. Yeah, he wasn't.
That was a dude prior. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Oh no shit!
No,
I did
there's
not know
Nelson.
that.
Nelson,
One
his
thing-
last name was Nelson.
Yes,
Yeah.
his last name was Nelson. That's right. I can't remember his first name.
I said if we win these two games, right, and we did, there's no reason outside of injury that the Niners can't run it out.
Real quick, song. His name was Kyle Nelson. That's what you're thinking of, JV.
Kyle Nelson.
Yeah, I get, dude. I like meshed them together and just made up some bullshit.
It's all right.
No,
man.
that's one of the
The
reasons.
Niners,
That's
dude,
one of the
the
reasons
Niners
I'm
can-
so high on the
Brock
special
Purdy can-
teams.
win the next 4 games. Like, look, we got Seattle. I've never been a believer of Seattle all year. They have the 31st run defense in the league. They just got freaking taken to the cleaners at home by the Panthers.
Yep.
Right? They got ran on. Like, dude, the Panthers looked like the Niners out there in the fourth quarter. They were just
Raiders
running
ran
up the
all
gut,
over.
and it was just like they could not do anything to stop it. So,
Mhm.
of course, it's the Niners. Anything can happen, but they can win next week for sure on Thursday. And then who's after that? I think it's the Cardinals, or is it the Redskins?
Commanders.
Well, yeah.
It's the
So
Commanders.
Commanders.
Redskins
Oh, sorry,
is-
Commanders.
Cardinals is the last game.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
season.
You got the Commanders, and then you got the Raiders, and then you got the Cardinals. Dude,
Yep.
all winnable games. The Raiders, actually, the one that worries me the most is probably the Raiders game, because they're a sneaky bad team. Like they have a pretty decent defense, and Josh Jacobs is an animal. We all know about Devontae Adams, and Carr can get hot at any moment. So that game is a little bit scary for me. But I mean, they can win the next 4 games and then end up being the second seed, because I think the Vikings still have a loss or 2 in them still.
Yep.
Like that was huge that they lost today. I don't think we're going to catch the Eagles because the remaining schedule, it does look, they have a lot of division games upcoming. You still have to play Dallas again, but it's going to be hard to catch them. Like it's going to be really hard to catch them.
No, but I think we can make a run for the 2 seed. Most definitely.
Yeah, we can make a run for the 2 seed.
That's what I'm eyeing right there. But talking about Purdy real quick, you know, and him taking us to wherever we are going, he doesn't have to do much.
No.
Right? TL, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Today, he was 16 of 21 for 185 yards, 2 touchdowns. What performance does that remind you of?
The quarterback who just got hurt.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And the only difference is, and here's the kicker to that. You know, the numbers are real pedestrian. You know, 188. I actually had a total of 3 because he ran one in. 188 touchdowns. But here's the thing: no turnovers.
No turnovers. That's the key.
That's the key. That's it. I mean, do I expect him to run the table without turnover? Absolutely not. But I just think that this defense, as long as you minimize the turnovers, and like Miriah mentioned the last game, he threw an interception, but it was it was 4th down.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like that was a punt anyway. It was a punt.
They were down to the 20. The stupid cornerback should have knocked it down.
Yeah, and they didn't respect it.
Yeah, he should have knocked it down if anything.
They didn't respect that he was going to go long because CMC and Ayuk on both plays were wide open.
Yeah, and this is what I like too.
Historically, haven't gone long.
And this is what I like too. And this is not a dig at Jimmy. They were showing stats. Throws for 30 or more air yards this season. That, right? Jimmy got 1. Brock Purdy already has 2.
That's 2. Look at that.
Already.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's showing that he has a capability of throwing the deep ball pretty accurately is going to open everything else up where people are not going to be crowding the box. Exactly. And that's why I think CMC has such a good game, 118 yards on the ground or something like 120 something on the ground, and then a touchdown. And then he also had like 150 all-purpose yards. So, I just think when it comes down to it, like everybody said, and, you know.
I got a question for you guys.
What's up, Swan?
No, when you're done.
You know, I mean, just to come up with Ty's point, he's right. He don't have to do much. His defense is elite. The running game can be elite. I just, you know, I would still love to have everybody get involved in the running game. I like to show the defense some different looks. I don't think it should take, to me personally, I'm not Kyle, I'm not saying I'm smarter than he is. Me personally,
better watch it.
You shouldn't go 2 quarters without your other running back getting at least 1 snap. Like,
I see Denise's green light coming on.
You gotta keep Christian McCaffrey, because Christian McCaffrey has injury history as well. That's my concern.
Mine too.
He has injury history, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that you let him run the ball so much in between the tackles, use your bruiser and a Jordan Mason to keep McCaffrey fresh. I told everybody, I've been telling this to people for years, even when he was with Carolina, to preserve Christian McCaffrey, using 50-50 as a running back and a wide receiver. He's great at both. Put him in the slot, put him outside, use him as a running back, put him all around the field so he's not taking on so much of a beating. You know what I'm saying? Because of his injury history. You know, I'm not saying that, it's okay to let Tevin Coleman and Jordan Mason get hit. All I'm saying is they're more true style running backs. I got some size on them. Let Jordan Mason and TDP, who's another 235 pounds, let them be the bruiser inside the 10-yard line, goal line. Give it to TDP and the Mason. If Christian McCaffrey has had 5-6 snaps that drive and we get into the red zone, let TDP get a snap. Let Jordan Mason get some carries. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm
saying. That's
when this 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line, bring in your bruiser. That's all I'm saying. Bring in the big bag.
I actually agree with you guys, by the way. And by the way, I do not think any of you are stupid. Let's have it be known that Denise Granger does not associate with stupid people.
Oh, shit.
I got a question for you guys. Okay. So there's still some tests that we have to see, Purdy pass, right? Which is, what does it look like if it's the 4th quarter and we're down by 7 or 10, right? Whatever, something like that. But we might not see that for the rest of these games. We might not see that. So, but the thing is, as I was asking this question, I still think, he still had to score and keep on scoring. Like, because you get up 7-0 on Tom Brady, it's not like, oh yeah, game's over. You got to keep on scoring.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
that's
when
true.
28. Honestly, this is how comfortable I felt when we went 28-0 in the halftime. I was like, game's over. I was like, game's over because of the simple fact, like you said, it's that defense. Like, I don't.
Not me.
Think, really, I thought it was over. I was like, this game is over.
I was scared.
Really,
I was still shitting in the cupboard.
my nephew is a big Patriots fan. He's a big Tom Brady fan. He was saying, he's like Uncle Ty, that they better not, what's it called, give up on Brady, right? I go, okay, this is what you don't know about the Niners defense. The Niners defense has a lot of pride. Like, when they get up, they want to, they don't want to give up points. He's like, and Bosa, I go, he is singly minded and wants to get the sack. And he's like, what, is he a stat patter? I go, no, he's not a stat patter. He loves rushing the quarterback. That's his thing. That is his duty. That's why he loves the game. So he's not doing it to pad stats, but he's doing it because he loves to do it. And this defense has pride. So you're not going to see that, So, and it turned out they proved me right.
Yeah, I saw it as still we have a half of football to play. That's a lot of football.
Yeah.
And we can't take our foot off the gas.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not saying that. But
that's how these other teams allowed the Bucs to come back previously. Absolutely. They kind of took their foot off the gas. I mean, I was looking at the Saints game last week, and they would just run the ball up the middle, take a little bit of time off. Run the ball up the middle again, take a little time off. Okay, let's try some dinky short pass. Like, stupid, not even challenging them, outside, things of that nature, just letting them back in, taking their foot off the gas. So I wanted Kyle to keep scoring. I tweeted it out, score again, do something to keep it going.
Yeah, no, I feel you guys on that. I think when I saw the 28-0, I'm just like, okay, even if we only score 10 points in the second half, or is Tampa Bay going to score more than 28 points on his defense? No, that was my mentality.
I hear you.
That's why I was like, yeah, we're just beating the brakes off them. But Swan, I think the only thing is when you said that we might never see us getting down 14-0 or where Brock Purdy has to put it on his arm to be like, man, I need to catch up. I think you're right. I think even in the playoffs, I feel comfortable, and it's not me being a cocky feeling. I feel comfortable if we have to play somebody like the Giants in the first round, or somebody like that who sneaks into the Commanders or somebody like that. That I'm not really too worried about. It's the teams where I think the only two teams I would worry about having to come back from would be the Eagles and probably Cowboys.
Yeah.
If anything, like the Eagles. I mean, I've seen them score at will. It's the same thing, kind of like we see with the Chiefs. They just have so many weapons as well with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and stuff like that. They got great weapons as well, and they know how to score the same way. So if anything, I don't know. I just feel like Brock Purdy, like I mentioned before, he shows a lot of poise for being a rookie, and I think just because it's rare where you see somebody come in the league nowadays for starting at a college for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the most part, you got somebody who sits their freshman year, they redshirt, whatever the case may be, or you got these top upper echelon guys like the Trevor Lawrences, Justin Fields, who start for 3 years and then they're gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So the fact that he's been there for 4 straight years shows why he has so much poise. And I love the kid. Like I said, I just think that if Ty is right, if we just can keep that up and give us those numbers, he don't have to throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. Give me 200 yards, give me 2 touchdowns, minimal mistakes. Yeah, minimal mistakes, and we're good.
So what's this oblique injury?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to that. Shanahan said Brock Purdy has an oblique injury, but that's not the reason he came out of the game in the fourth quarter. And then update on Deebo Samuel is it's not an ankle fracture. It's most likely a high ankle sprain.
Woo!
That's was that like 6 weeks?
Yep, that's 4 to 6 weeks right there.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Hey, we're gonna see Danny Gray and Ray McLeod.
Yeah.
Wow.
that's true. Yeah.
I want to see him on the field more than him just doing a backflip. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him out there being used, and now I'm sure now that Debo's gone, he's gonna have to.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys something. I know you were trying to plan to get out of here, Miriah and stuff, but what do you guys think of using CMC maybe like as a wide receiver 70% of the time with Debo being out?
Well, don't
Dude,
they
the
kind
routes
of
that
don't they kind of do that already with him
Yeah,
being on the
that's what I was
field?
gonna say.
They don't change up really, and I think that's really the reason they didn't switch him out from any of the other running backs in the game, because when he's on the field, they are more versatile. They can open it up and they can do anything, because he can throw the ball, he can run the ball, he can probably kick the ball. We know he can catch the ball.
For sure.
So I think at this point they're going to just keep doing what they're doing right now.
Yeah, because what's Debo's route tree lately, anyways, right?
Yeah.
Like slant, crosser,
Slant,
you know,
and breaking routes. That's
yeah.
Christian McCaffrey's like that. I know some of you guys are about my age. The old school commercial with Cordell Stewart when he was like, "Oh, go in there and throw a football. Go in there and do this." And then the coach at the end goes, "Hey, Cordell, I need you to go in there and punt." You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's what like that CMC. That CMC.
He did.
Yep.
Slash 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think offense changes at all.
It's going to be interesting now. It's like it sucks losing Devo because they were able to like steal candy with those two on the field, but you know, adding Danny Gray and I want to see, you know, Danny Gray's speed scare the shit out of teams. You know, like he has speed where, dude, you better have a plan for him, right? Like you better not just let him run free. And sure, it doesn't really match up well with Purdy, but you know Purdy, he's gonna throw it.
Yeah,
he's gonna throw it.
Like we used to say in the hood, Danny Gray, he got that crackhead speed.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he's running like he stole something out there. No, but
that's what they said about Purdy. That's what they said about Purdy is that he, even if he doesn't have the arm strength, that's a negative against him. Is he gets cocky and thinks he can throw it into spaces where he actually can't throw it or shouldn't throw it. Like that's a negative against him. So hopefully he doesn't get too cocky and like doesn't start turning the ball over. That's the only thing that he makes me nervous.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, I think
today,
this time though he's okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Wait, if you notice today, they actually threw Danny Gray a short pass.
The last
pass. Yeah. So that's one way you can utilize Gray's speed. If you get him open in a short space, hit him with a short pass and just let him take off.
Yeah.
That's why they liked him too.
Utilize
right?
that speed.
One of the reasons.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
And then what the hell? What were you saying, Denise?
No, I was saying that.
The one of the negatives. Yeah, one of the negatives. The thing though is that he was big man on campus in Iowa. Yeah. Right? Like he was big man on campus. He was there for 4 years, and then they said his game deteriorated the longer he was there. Right? So he's big man on campus, put everything on his shoulders. I don't think he has that mindset with this team because now he's the rookie, a young rookie, and he has all these Hall of Fame potential players, Pro Bowlers on the team, and it's not the same. You know what I mean? That's gonna steady him.
That's one of the things they like about the kid. He holds you accountable.
Yep, he does.
You know what I mean? He's telling Trent Williams, you know, look at me, bro. You know, I think Brock's leadership is perfect. I think it fits the situation, right? He's not a Nick Mullins. He's not gonna pat you on your ass, you know, and whisper sweet nothings. Like he'll call you out. He'll call you out. You know, I'm gonna need you to catch this one. You know what I mean? Don't drop another pass.
Yeah, and what he did to lead the huddle, as not everyone can get away with that. I think because of where he was drafted, how small he is in size and how he looks like a little baby.
Like he's
right?
16 years old.
Yeah. So then when
it's
he's
also
serious,
how well you play.
Yeah. Well, and another thing is when you're like that and you go hard, people it can be reversed and like they're not going, oh, this young punk. They respect it because he has the balls to do that. Like if he was 6'5" and looked a certain way and he did that, that would be taken differently. You guys get what I'm saying? How it could be taken differently?
The perception.
No.
The perception of it.
They're looking at this dude.
He's non-threatening.
He's a small dude with a good enough skill set to lead a team with a bunch of weapons to victory, and he's done this now. I mean, we just blew out Tampa Bay, fam.
Yeah.
I mean, we just worked them, and we still need to polish off running the ball up the middle. You see, CMC's not built the way what's his face is built over there in what was that? Chuba Hubbard? Is that who they beat him with today?
Yeah, Chuba Hubbard from the Panthers.
Chuba Hubbard. Is that who they ran up the gut? And just you know, we can't do that right now. We can't do that right now. You understand what I'm saying? Like we have to get creative to get CMC up the gut and get 15 yards. You know what I'm saying? We need to run the ball up the gut. We need to pound the rock, so to speak.
Hey,
and
remember 2 games ago they did it right in Miami. Was it the Miami game where Mason just closed out the game? Everyone knows it's coming, and he was gashing them.
Saints game.
The Saints game. Yeah, so it's like he was gashing them. He closed that game out, and the Saints D line is no fucking joke either.
Oh no, they're good.
That D line,
they're damn good. They're damn good.
Defense.
Yeah.
But John V, I think that goes back to our conversation that was centered around utilizing your running backs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is when if it's Jordan Mason and Tevin Coleman that's up, they're bigger backs. That can pound the rock in between the tackles. Put them out there, let them pound the rock between the tackles. You know,
yes.
If these teams are soft up the gut, all right, we're going to bring in one of our bruisers here and pound you up the middle. Take time off the clock and wear you down.
Because TDP isn't TDP like 235?
But TDP, he's not showing Kyle enough to even get garbage time. Well, he wasn't active today, so he was inactive. But
and we can only pull up Coleman so many more times, so you're going to have to use TDP. We don't have no other options. It's like
not at all.
We're not using Mason until the third quarter. Well, Mason's not the third, fourth running back anymore. He's the second running back.
Exactly.
He should be getting used how Eli Mitchell and CMC were being used together.
I agree.
100%.
CMC to fucking death, and then once that's all said and done, okay, now we'll put in Jordan Mason.
They're going to use one of their 3 third-round draft picks next year on a running back. I guarantee it.
I mean, you kind of have to, though.
I guarantee it.
Not happening.
You kind of have to, though.
Yeah, you kind of don't.
Look, the way that Kyle's history and drafting running backs high is not good, my brother. Like, if you look at how it's been,
3 undrafted.
Get them low.
Just like you were saying, just like you guys were saying, using the tandem of the running backs like Elijah Mitchell and all that. But just like when we had Matt Breida and Raheem Mostert, they shared carries and stuff like that. I don't know why Kyle has gone away from that so much, but like we said, JV, I'm worried about the McCaffrey thing just because of his injury history.
Yes,
he hasn't been the most healthiest guy last 2
No,
years.
that's a solid take, bro.
Yeah, so that's why I'm just worried. Like, man, like Miriah just said, if you have a bruiser, and everybody could be right, maybe he has issues with pass blocking, whatever the case may be. Okay, well, use him on first down sometimes. Use him on second down where there's a running play. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to always use him on third down so he can block. You know what I'm saying? Like
Carolina used him though as he was their back, bro. They ran him in. He was everything. They ran him in terrible situations. I mean, they're partially to blame for his injuries, in my opinion. You know, Chuba Hubbard was still stashed on that roster. He might have been behind that other dude. Who the hell was the other? They had. Man, I can't remember. But I think Chuba Hubbard was actually third on that roster. McCaffrey being RB1. I can't remember who was RB2, and I think Hubbard was third on that roster. I think.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with 49er minded here. You look at, the history of Kyle, his first ever running back he took was Joe Williams. Traded up for him from Utah. He didn't even last on the roster for a year. Dude, I mean, he was terrible. Then you got Trey Sermon, RIP, the running back from Ohio State, you know what I mean? Who's not here, no longer with us on this team, and then you got TDP. It's amazing to me how you got people like the Elijah Mitchells, the TDPs who get in there and outwork, or I don't know if I can't say that because I'm not there, but end up being ahead of the depth chart of the Trey Sermons because everybody thought Trey Sermon was going to be the man. Then you get Elijah Mitchell, 6th-round pick, and he's the dude. Then same thing with this year. You had TDP. Then you have an undrafted dude in Jordan Mason who's getting way more burn than TDP. Doesn't make sense to me. So I'd rather just go day 3 running backs going forward, 5th, 6th, or 7th round, or even undrafted guys, because that has been proven with the Matt Breidas and so forth. So,
where was Jennings?
Juwan Jennings was a 7th round pick.
7th,
yeah,
7th round pick.
Yeah.
And where was he today?
He caught he was balls in the 4th quarter. He wasn't much of a factor.
Yeah, he didn't get much action go his way. Like he caught 1 ball for 5 yards.
Yeah,
and he was only targeted twice.
That's crazy.
I think one play he fell down. That was that play he fell down, and we got the penalty on.
Yeah. Well, I guarantee you going forward, he's going to be used more because he's going to have to, especially if Debo's out for 6 weeks.
Exactly. Because he becomes wide receiver.
Do you see them
right now?
Do you see them doing anything drastic in the next week?
You mean like OBJ?
Well, I don't. I mean, if let's say in the next few days we find out that Debo's ankle has potentially maybe I mean, what if there's surgery? Yeah, what if there's surgery on a ligament? Then is it fair to say that you have to consider it?
What can we actually do?
I'm on the fence with that.
OBJ not going to be ready for weeks. They said probably the middle of January,
Super Bowl.
OBJ said, "I don't want." Oh, sorry.
And you can't trade for people, so we're just going to go pick up a bum off the couch. I mean, I don't know.
I guess
move you possibly think we could make.
No, I guess you're right. I didn't even know that.
I didn't hear that. I thought he was ready.
I stopped paying attention.
After he went to the medical at the Cowboys, the Cowboys released all this shit on him that he wasn't ready.
He was supposed to come in and grab a ring, basically.
Yeah, did you hear what he said?
And get paid.
He said it's not about being ready. He said it's not about being ready. I just don't think I'm needed until the playoffs. That's he tweeted that.
I don't want him then. If that's the mentality, I don't want him.
Dude, I didn't even know that. I stopped paying attention because I thought the Cowboys were front runners. They were definitely going to take him. I had no idea that he failed his physical there, and that's news to me, fam. I did not know that.
Yeah, if that's the case, then no. Like I thought what you thought, JV. I thought he was ready to come in and make an immediate impact. I'm like, if he can come in and be our slot receiver, then I'm cool with that. For starting next week. But if he's sitting there saying, "Oh, you don't need me until like the wild card weekend or whatever," nah. Just go ahead and keep him off this roster.
I had no idea.
When most guys tear their ACL, it takes them a full year to recover.
Yes.
He tore his in the Super Bowl. Yep. Now it's the second time he tore it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no way he's coming back early from that injury. So it doesn't surprise me that he failed this physical. He's not ready.
Yeah.
And the only man.
And the thing about it is you have to sign it because you can't get paid in the playoffs. So you have to sign him and wish him and give him money just for playing in the playoffs, even though he might not play a season game. You literally have to sign him on faith that he's going to play on the playoffs.
Yeah. Swan, you just have to hope he can play. That's the thing.
Right.
You got to pay him on hoping. We ain't got time for that.
Yeah, no, I'll go ahead and pass on that situation.
No, I agree 100%. I apologize. I had I'm behind. I thought he was bananas on the airplane. I just said, that's Dallas's problem. Like I just wrote him off. I swear to God, fam. Like I just put OBJ on the back burner and just could have cared less.
It wouldn't shock me though that he ends up in Dallas. With that said, it wouldn't shock me he ends up in Dallas.
Yeah.
And what's funny is he made it through the meetings and whatever with the Giants and the Bills. nothing was said. Not one single word about his injury, about when he'll be ready, about how the physical went, nothing. What got out. And then he goes to the Cowboys, and all of a sudden, all these stories start coming out.
Wow.
I know why. I think JV's right. They're doing that so nobody else will touch him, and they can bring him in.
Yeah, poison the
Probably
well.
for cheaper, yep.
You know,
Poison
Jerry
the
Jones
well.
knows how to play the media game.
Yep.
Better than anyone.
Sure does.
So it wouldn't shock me. But it still wouldn't shock me if they sign him and he's just sitting on the bench.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
In his street
It's-
clothes.
Corporations
It's
call that
kind of a luxury
suicide
at
pill.
that point.
Corporations call that a suicide pill. Like you screw, you poison the well, and no one wants him, and then you take him in, and it ends up
Yep.
maybe killing you.
That's true. Yeah, you're right, Ty. I think the only man who actually came back and dominated and was ready a year before his ACL tear was Adrian Peterson. When he had like 7-month recovery, and
Yep.
then the
An
next year
anomaly.
and they ran
Yeah.
2,000 yards the next season. I was
Yep.
like, "What? I'm like, this dude is inhuman."
Yo, Jerry Rice.
And we know
came back
AP
the
is a
same
freak of
season.
nature.
Let's not
Yeah,
forget
he's
that
different.
Jerry Rice
would
came
have been
back
on
the
that
same
list.
season.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jerry Rice,
He would have
yep.
been on that list had he not broken his kneecap.
Yep. It's true.
They took
Because he
some
got a
they took
touchdown
some
doing
odds and ends from the garage and fixed him up, bro. They slapped some screws, some pins, some leather. Dude, nobody comes back 7 months. That's
That was sick.
Look at that list. Adrian Peterson, a freak. Jerry Rice, a freak. Like,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
aren't
Yeah, it's
average dudes. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I mean, Debo seems to bounce back from injuries relatively quickly. I think if we're cautiously optimistic about this, knowing that he did not fracture his ankle, because I thought it was a left knee injury from
Me
the
too.
start, right?
Yeah, I thought it was.
I was told
Yeah, it
Gibbons
looked
was hauled
ugly.
away. I was worried about Gibbons, and then Debo goes down, and I'm out here tweeting, we can't, 49er fans can never catch a break, bro. We can never be in the lead, winning, and be happy.
Yeah.
Home field advantage is not so sweet and much of an advantage to us because, we still get banged up at home, and to find out it's a high ankle,
Yeah, that's
that sucks, but it's better than knowing that he's done. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Better than a
Better-
torn ACL. It's better than
Better
something
than a-
broken. Like,
Right,
We can
right.
still run the
Achilles
table.
tear or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We
Exactly.
could still run the table. We could still run the table without Debo.
And we have a good security blanket. We've been talking about CMC for this entire time, right? CMC is a security blanket to this team. When Kittle was a security blanket, he was kind of divided up between passing game and trying to be there as a security blanket. Now Kittle can be both partial security blanket, partial to the run game. You know what I'm saying? So CMC has just brought an amazing addition to this offense because he can be that guy we've needed, because Debo's getting doubled up. They take Debo out. You can't cover everyone, right?
Yeah.
In a system where we always try to have someone open anyway. Like,
Exactly.
it's so difficult, bro. In some cases now, Shanahan's system might have two guys
Some
open.
people, well, JV, me and Miriah were
They
talking
do.
about this yesterday. It's like, with CMC, he don't even really have to make an impact, whether his numbers or not, because him being on the field, just him being there, now you can't double coverage everybody. You can't be
Yeah.
like,
Sure.
let me put
They
two
have to
men,
play
let me put
paper, rock,
two men. You
scissors.
have to single coverage everybody, because who are you going to double? Because if you double coverage Kittle with the safety, you're going to have probably Ayuk beating the corner over the top. You got CMC in the slot or just anywhere out of the backfield. If you double coverage Debo, now CMC's single coverage. And I'm taking him single coverage on the linebacker all day long. It's just like you said, it's like paper, rock, scissors, picking your poison,
Yeah.
basically.
The defense almost at that point goes, fuck it, we're just playing base. Fuck it. Like, we can't cheat to anyone. This is play, our responsibility. And that's it.
You know what I will say? It's crazy to me. And I'm not, like I said, this is not a dig on our other quarterback. I feel like this team is scarier with the 7th round pick and Brock Purdy than it was with Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Well,
And
well,
another
it's-
thing to me, what I love is that if Jimmy lost it for me, I would have lost my mind. If Purdy loses, it's all gravy for me at this point.
Yeah, it's like
It's all gravy.
he's a 7th round pick, a rookie.
Yeah,
like
I
what did
cannot
you
get
expect?
pissed off at him.
Exactly. Yeah,
Well,
I
we
feel like the
saw-
team is scarier now, Ty, which is crazy.
Yeah, I do too. And we saw something today that's been missing from this offense all season long after week 2. John V, what was it? What did you see today?
Mobility at the quarterback position.
Hold
Well,
up. Think about through the air.
Yeah.
Oh, you talk about the deep ball.
Chunk plays through the air.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
chunk plays. I've been preaching about those forever.
That's why I pointed to you, brother.
Yeah. Listen, yes, dude. Chunk plays. Like Purdy is slinging the ball, dude, and he's got a way about him. Like the way he throws it up, it's a confident throw.
Yeah.
He just leans back a little bit. He has to put a little more into it. But for the most part, family, like he does it confidently. And that is what makes this team so dynamic now, today, because you know what? It's not this dink and dunk offense where we're chewing up 8 minutes to drive down the field 70 yards. You feel me?
Yeah, and the thing is, he plays fundamentally by the book. Meaning, how many times have you seen a film breakdown by one of these guys like JT O'Sullivan or any of these other QB guys that say, "Hey, Jimmy, when you get this matchup, you got to throw it." Like this is how it's schemed. You got your matchup you want, you have to throw it, and Jimmy doesn't throw it, right? Brock Purdy is the guy is like, fundamentally, hey, you have this matchup. I schemed this matchup for you. You see it, you throw it. And he does that. So whether that's because it's no battle scars, like, because Jimmy's got battle scars, right? So like the fact that, you have a kid that has no battle scars, that he's going to do it by the book. And I trust that. I'd rather have that than someone not taking advantage of the play that was called for you to throw it and not even taking the chance. Like,
Exactly. And think about it. How many times have we seen Brandon Ayuk cook? Absolutely cook a DB, and he's open, and the ball didn't get thrown to him.
Absolutely.
It got thrown to him today, right?
Absolutely.
Beautifully, too.
Yep. And Cowboy Angel is correct, like, about when Jimmy's throwing, holding your breath. And it's funny to me because there is times where when Jimmy, when he takes his little 35-step drop backs, I get scared when he throws the ball. I'm like, dang, what's going to happen? I feel so confident with Purdy back there throwing the ball. And like I said, it's mind blowing how this man plays. Like, I didn't expect this at all. Because, we were talking yesterday and we're like, yeah, I go, the thing about Brock Purdy, yeah, he went out there and did this thing against Miami was nobody had any film on him. Now they do. And he was still out there doing his thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this, right? Like quarterbacks that come into Shanahan's system, like when Jimmy came in 2017, didn't have the playbook down, went out there, just free balled, right? Just went out there, slang the rock, bro, won us 5 games, boom, right? Purdy, same thing, comes in. But what I'm saying is there was not a game plan tailored around Purdy in the Miami.
I think he cut out, huh?
Yo, is Demo hurt? Is Diamador hurt?
That's what I was seeing too from Izzy. What happened to him?
Well, he returned to the field. After, when you remember, he was laid out and they took him off, but he returned. He came back in.
Melissa,
what's in the fourth quarter when they subbed everybody?
Yeah, I see Melissa saying
Demo's
the
scariest
injury.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Hopefully he's, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
QB. Corner.
Yeah, I just want to put out, the last thing I want to say is like, yeah, man, I feel so confident with this team, this defense. I can, people used to, I remember beginning of the year, people were like, well, can this defense be better than 2019? It's better. It's way better. Yeah. This defense is on par with me with 2020. They're scaring people. Dre Greenlaw's playing out of his mind. That beautiful interception by Tashawn Gibson, he caught that like a wide receiver. Yep. And we've known for him to drop some passes this year, some interceptions. That was clean. So, the fact that this defense, everybody has gotten healthy, and JV's right, and I think Swan said it too. It's like, man, can we just for once go through a game and dominate without somebody getting hurt? Like if Debo wouldn't have got hurt, it would have been 100%. Like everybody would have got A's across the board. But it just sucks, man. But yeah, Demo, I gave him his flowers earlier. I think before you came on, him having to guard 2 good receivers the last 2 weeks and doing his thing, and Chris Godwin and Jalen Waddle. I just feel confident. Like this is the most confident I felt in a while. The offenses seem like it's hitting on all cylinders, like Tony was saying in the comments. We look good. All we need is 200 yards and 2 touchdowns and no turnovers a game from our quarterback.
Boom.
And we got a Super Bowl, in my opinion.
I'm gonna follow up on it. I'm gonna jump in and follow up on you. Yes, that's exactly what we need because we are a team. We're playing team football. On offense, it's not just one guy doing it all. Like, yes, CMC is looking great. He's carrying the load, running and receiving, but Kittle's out there contributing. Juwan Jennings is out there contributing, so on and so forth. Everybody's getting in the mix and doing their job. So Brock Purdy doesn't have to lead us on offense because we're playing team offense. It's everybody. The same thing on defense. Nick Bosa, Defensive Player of the Year, great. Fred Warner is all-pro Fred, great. But the other guys around them are also doing their thing. We saw the impact Armstead has, that he's back on the field.
Yes.
We see what Greenlaw's doing. We see
All-pro Greenlaw.
All-pro Greenlaw. We see Hufunga breaking up plays. Look at Jimmy Ward, the day he had today. He had himself a day. He caused that last fumble. We blitzed in there and blew that play up. I mean, it's team defense. Everyone's contributing. Even on special teams, people are contributing. So this team as a whole can definitely go the distance.
Absolutely.
What the hell was I saying?
How great I am. Go ahead. You can
honestly, I said how great I am.
I can't remember what the hell I was saying.
What were you saying? Man, I'm getting old, brother. What were you talking about?
I know.
I don't remember, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
I can't remember. So what's wrong with Demo? What did we say? He's banged up?
We don't know. Izzy had put something in the comments saying that he had the scariest injury, but Ty said he got back on the field. So I'm not sure what's going on with them. I haven't seen any updates on him or nothing. So
yeah, Matt Mayoko had tweeted out updates, but nothing on
Deommodore Lenore. So okay, so that's a good thing. So
all right, fam. I just closed up the shop. I want to go home. I'm gonna
for
go.
Sure, brother.
I appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
Appreciate you
always for the invitation.
Get home safe.
Brian, good to see you guys.
Good to see you, man.
Denise, always a pleasure. My family.
Always a pleasure, John.
Juan, always a pleasure, my man. And never take it personal, bro. I never want you to feel like I'm pressing you, bro. But listen, I'm gonna roll. I want to go home. I want to check out. I want to see the kids before they go to bed.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll see you guys later.
All right,
much love to you, brother.
Much love always. Peace.
What's up, Brian? You got some final stuff to say, my guy?
I got a lot to say. It's probably not enough time to get everything out. I love coming on. You guys are great. Just my first time talking with all of you guys, but overall, the whole game, I feel the whole game was a team win. And really, maybe some people agree with this and maybe some people won't. I don't ever think that our fan base will be united. Even after winning a Super Bowl, I still think we'll have members that will say, oh, we should have done this way or this way. Yeah. I know a lot of people want our team to be a quick scoring team. We're not really that. We've never really been that. Not even with Walsh. We've been like that dink and dunk. We always check it down and let the playmakers make plays and go from there. But with the changing of the quarterback, I really hope that the team can just be happy and just rally behind Purdy and just let's just concentrate on winning one game at a time. We got a good team and we can go far. We just got to stop fighting each other because the players, they hear it. They really do. They really hear it. So. But thanks for having me on. That's what I got basically to say.
Appreciate that, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Denise, what you got for us?
Oh, I'm good. Nothing, fam. I'm good. It was a great win.
Hold up.
What?
I was about to say, Denise, you got to give me a fuck Tom Brady real quick. Come on, Denise. Don't let me down.
I can't. My grandson.
Don't you hear there's a baby right behind you?
Yeah, I got the
You're the one with the baby. Sorry.
Yeah, I would, but my baby's in the room. I can't say the F word with my baby in the room.
We'll do it another time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my baby, huh? Just my baby. Right. Nana's baby. But the game was great. I mean, the only thing I wish Tom Brady would have ate a little more dirt for Denise's liking. Yeah. But other than that, the game was fantastic. Like I'll be honest with you guys, I expected us to win, but see, my grandson was happy too. He's always He's like, yeah. I was happy. The only thing I was bummed about was, like I said, I wish he would have ate a little more dirt. But other than that, it was a great game. And my thing with Purdy, I honestly expected the game to be a little closer. Like I really did, just because of them being able to game plan for Purdy. I thought, you know what I mean? Like I thought, because I know that their offense isn't really great, but isn't their defense pretty stout? Like the Tampa Bay defense is pretty stout, right?
Like
number 5 in defense.
Number 5 in defense, yeah.
Number 5.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I thought they were, higher up in defense. So I was actually kind of surprised. I was like, well, whatever. But yeah, I mean, he didn't eat enough dirt for my liking. But like I said, other than that, great win. I was stoked. I really do hope that people don't turn on Trey. That's the only thing I'm worried about as far as our fan base. I hope our fan base doesn't turn on Trey. Like,
they already doing it.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, but a lot of the polls have, like, a lot of the polls that I've seen that have had 5,000 votes have who's the quarterback for next year. Granted, this is before this game. They were like 70% Trey.
Yeah, that's very true.
So that was positive to see.
Yep.
So like, it's just remember, there's a vocal minority, and it's the same guys that scream the loudest, but there's a lot of sane people, regular Niner fans that you meet at the grocery market, or he plays on your son's baseball team, that are pretty much reasonable people that are in line of how most of us think. So
that's very true. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you, Denise. It's gonna be all dependent on, and I think it's gonna happen regardless. People are gonna be fighting. Like, let's just say if Jimmy leaves, it's gonna be a discussion. Who should we start? It's gonna be Brock Purdy. It's gonna be Trey. Look, like me and Ty said earlier, I'm a huge Trey Lance supporter. Like, I just think that he has so much talent. He has his ceilings through the roof. However, it's gonna be one of those things where it's like you cannot give Purdy his credit if we get to the playoffs and he plays well and he's not the reason why we're losing games. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to make it fair. You have to make it fair going in the offseason training camp and say, look, this is an open competition. And I'm okay with that. Even though as much as I love Trey, I'm okay with that because I want the best man to win. So
yeah, and
I agree.
And
I agree with that. The only thing, and I said this before you came on, TL, the only thing is I don't want to see Trey lose his job because he got hurt.
Correct.
That's the only thing. Like, I was one of the few people, the very few people who was upset when Alex Smith got benched after he got better. And I know that we went to the Super Bowl and everyone, like, I know everyone's Cap lovers, and we got, everybody was like, oh, but he took us to the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. I get it, but I still think it was bullshit that Alex Smith lost his job. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I just thought it was wrong.
I mean, Denise, like, I agree with you totally.
You know what, Swan?
Like 9-1.
That is the only thing that will get you, that will get you like knocked out with me. I hate when people call me Dennis.
I'm sorry.
He called you Dennis.
It's like when I go. It's so funny when I go places. Like, my name is spelled Denise, and it's like Dennis is spelled with 2 N's. And it's like someone will, like, at a nurse, like, I'll go to a doctor's office and they're like, Dennis, and I swear to God, dude, I'll stand up and I look at them and I'm like, what the? And I literally, like, I don't care. Like, I'm an asshole, dude. I look at them and I'm like, do I look like a Dennis? Like I say it just like that. And they look at me, they're like, oh, I'm sorry. I said, Dennis is spelled with 2 N's.
And 1
Did you
E.
go to?
But no E most times at the end.
Yeah.
No E at the end. It's just 1 E in general. D-E-N-N-I.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Thank you.
My bad. Hey, I fixed myself after.
No, I know. I'm just messing with you.
Closing thoughts,
Juan,
and then Ty. Let's get out of here.
You know what's crazy?
Oh, sorry.
Just put one thing. After all the crap that's happened this year. The shuffling of this, shuffling of that. We're on a third quarterback. Crazy things happen. Everything. Dude, at 9-4, we are ahead of schedule. Like if you had told you at the beginning of the year you're going to be 9-4 after 13 games, 99.9% of the fan base would have said yes. That's crazy. You think about it. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, we're halfway point to my goal. So you know me, I'm a bettor. If the Niners win 10 games and win the division, I win $600.
Oh, you got it, Bo. You got it.
Nice.
Yep.
Hey, brother, let me borrow a dollar.
Let me borrow a dollar.
Let me hold something. I'm asking before everybody else.
Let me have your number so I can sell you some money.
There you go.
Ty, any closing thoughts?
I already gave my closing thoughts. We're good. We're good.
Ty already went,
All
so
right.
did Swan. It's your turn,
You're
Miriah.
done, Swan?
Yep.
All right. I don't really have nothing to say about the game because you guys know I like to save it for our show. We only have so much to talk about on here. So we're going to be doing our show Wednesday. For those that didn't see the first time or haven't heard, just our show from yesterday. It's titled, let me give you the exact name, Week 14, Buccaneers at 49ers, Mr. Relevant versus the GOAT. We started this.
Phony GOAT.
The 1 through 5 holiday mystery envelopes. So this can have autographed cards in it. There's some patch cards, numbered cards, etc. So to enter, you'll need to be subscribed to the channel and go leave a comment, any comment on our last video. So the video that posted yesterday. And then we will draw the winner on our live show that's on Wednesday. So good luck to everybody for that. Everybody, I appreciate you guys coming on. Chat, I appreciate you all as always. You guys are the best. Yeah, obviously happy we got the dub. We'll wait and see, hopefully these injuries are all right. Again, we always, get the win, but it's like at what cost, right? Yeah. We always have to lose players, lose this, all this other shit. So, it's nice that, hey, Tony, by the way, it's nice that he can come in and say, oh, you guys should be happy. You guys are the best team in the NFL, blah, blah, blah. But when you're dropping your best players in the NFL like flies, it doesn't make the wins feel that great. Yeah. Like, yeah, we're the best team in the NFL. We're on our third string freaking quarterback. Let's not forget, it ain't all butterflies and roses over here, buddy. Yeah. Like you seem to think. But yeah, got to enjoy the win.
Better than us.
I heard that in a while.
Exactly.
Enjoy the win, and yeah, we'll see how this week goes. Short week. We got the Seahawks on Thursday. We beat them and we clinched the NFC. So
right.
NFC West. So yeah,
we'll be back Wednesday at 3:45 Pacific time.
Yep, Wednesday at 3:45. We'll be here. We'll see you guys here. Thank you guys again. Everybody have a good night.
Right.
We're out of here.
Thanks for having me.